What's going on, everybody? Gonna let this build for a minute. Say hi, Steph.
Hey. There we go. Let me move my chair a little bit. Jennifer, what's going on? Hey.
What up? What up? What's good, Miss Jackson? Woo!
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh. I'm sorry,
Damn.
I had to do it.
Jen, if you could, can you get this out like two groups? I put it in New Beginnings, and I'll put it on my live page. If not, no biggie. Um, all right, we're gonna get the show on the road. If nobody's live, they can catch the replay. My name's Dan Carbon. I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, and my co-host Stephanie Robles. What's up, Steph?
Yay. What's going on, everybody?
So another great day. I was watching a little bit of the Eagles parade, man. Big. There was no way in hell I was driving to Philly though, because there's like 2 million people there, something crazy like that. I do not have the patience nor tolerance. I can watch it on television. But man, yeah, it was a good weekend. My team won, first time ever national champions, and man, I never thought I'd see the Eagles win a Super Bowl. I really didn't. It was never our year was always next year, you know. So, anyways, today we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about two things. We decided we're going to talk about don't quit before the miracle happens, and Easy does it. I'll start out for a little bit on the miracle thing. You know, I really didn't realize how much of a miracle this for in my life. That everything that happened to me, it had to be pointed out to me at a lot, and it still sometimes does that. At the end of the day, um, you know, I am a miracle, and not just me. Like a lot of people are in their own ways. If they're in recovery, if they're not in recovery, and they overcame some battles, and we all got issues, kind of thing. But um, it wasn't luck that I got here. It wasn't by mistake I got here. Um, I had to believe in something, and a lot of things had to happen in my life to it wasn't a coincidence. Um, I forget sometimes, I really do that, that I didn't put a drink and drug in my system today is a miracle. When I couldn't go 3 seconds without using, obviously we do things to keep that cycle not from happening again, but the little miracles too, right? Like that's great. Yeah, I didn't drink, I didn't drug today, but what else is going on in life? What other miracles? Like, because like when things started to happen, I would start to pay attention more. Um, we like me and some of the people I roll with, we call them God shots. You don't believe in God, that's fine. Like you don't have to. But for me, I do, and God puts people in my life for all different kind of reasons, right? So a year ago, I started a page, and I didn't know Stephanie Robles. I didn't know her until a few months ago from another group. We got to talking, and boom, here we are. I'm in recovery. She doesn't struggle with that, but she knows about addiction. She has another side of life, another view, and we collaborated. So, like, there's one little miracle. Yeah, Jamie, what's up? I fixed it. So, a lot of things come in my life where I would love to take credit for it, but something is putting out in my life. God shots are awesome. Some lady had to tell me. She was like, for real, for real. She was probably in her 70s. Um, I was early on in sobriety. I think I had like 90 days, 100 days. Um, and I was saying, man, like, when are these miracles going to happen? I seen them happen in other people's lives. I really didn't grasp a lot. It took me a long time. I'm a slow learner, and that's okay. But she looked at me and she said, "Dummy, you are the miracle." And like, I really had to think about that. Like, yeah, man, the fact that I didn't use say, the fact that I didn't even think about picking up a drink or a drug today, in a nutshell, that is a miracle. Um, things keep happening, and I don't question it anymore. I really don't. Sometimes I do overthink things, but I really have to reel it in. I believe I was put on this world to help people. That's not me. Like, that's not my will. Like, that's just what happened. And that's not a coincidence. He puts people in my life. I work with an awesome team of people that I didn't know any of them. None of them are from my area, nothing. And somehow we all fit, maybe dysfunctional at times, but like we all fit and we all do what we do. And it's a team game, man. And, for that, I'm grateful. There was a time where I felt alone. Um, and even in recovery sometimes, if I don't do what I need to do, I can be alone. But at the end of the day, man, miracles do happen. But for me, I really think I have to be a part of it. I mean, I have to do something for something to happen. I might not be able to know when it's going to happen, but I am a firm believer is from when you do the right thing, the right people show up in your life and the right things tend to happen. That doesn't mean shitstorms aren't going to come. They're going to come, and miracles are good. Um, Sometimes they stop coming. Sometimes I get up in my head and I don't really see what's really in front of me. But you know, I'm telling you, man, if you work for it, things will happen. Um, One more thing, and I'll turn it over to Stephanie. This one guy, he was I don't even like the word, but advocate. I don't know, whatever the hell he was, advocate, whatever. It's just a bad word. Um, I remember us talking one day, and he's like, I hate when people say, this is before I said anything, that I hate when people say in meetings that if you didn't pick up today, that's a miracle. Like he didn't like that. And I was like, man, we got to disagree on that. And it's okay, we can disagree, but it is a miracle. If you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, even if you have time in recovery, because, all we have is today, it is a fucking freaking miracle if you didn't pick up today. Regardless how good your life is, how shitty it is, like our instinct is to grab for the bottle, grab for the bag, and not deal with reality. So like I always remember that, man, and to me that is a miracle. It might be real small, but it's if you're wired like us, you're not supposed to not be using and not be drinking. Um, so that's a miracle for me. And things in my life happen, and when I sit back, when I really like look at everything, there are a lot of miracles, man. Because I'm not even supposed to be here. The times I drank and drove, the DUIs, the accidents, overdoses, the fights, put myself in bad situations, man. They were all miracles that God carried me and said, "Here, man, let me know when you're done. I got a nice spot for you." And finding a higher power for me, that was huge. That was another miracle. God works in my life today. What you got, girl?
I'm going to tell you, I'm coming from a mom point of view on this. You know how when you're going into labor, and I know all of us women, we're sitting here thinking we're going to die because that pain is real. That pain is real. You're about to punch out the doctor. You don't want to be taken away. You don't care. All forms of kindness go out the door because you're in pain. But the interesting thing that stuck in my head most is if I want the pain to be over, I got to push. You don't have a choice.
Mm.
Like if you want the pain to stop, you got to push and you got to push through it. So in those moments where I don't think I can do something or I can't take it no more, like it helps put that I got to go through it. I have to push through that pain. And the miracle is that you gave birth to this little itty bitty human being. Like there's like four little people that came out of me. Like, oh my gosh. And I wanted to kill everybody in the process of that. And I apologize afterwards because, you say those things when you're going through labor. But the miracle of that, and then the miracle of that again is that I actually did it 3 more times. So that in its own is a miracle. Given birth, there's so many people that things happen in the middle of that. Like they lose their child, or some women lose their life, or the father on his way to the hospital, they get something happens. The miracle every day. My husband's active military. He's been deployed 5 to 6 times. Like, it's a miracle that he comes home and he's able to spend it. As much as I don't sit here and I talk about it, it's a miracle that he does do what he do. Miracles happen every day of our lives. But sometimes they happen and we don't even see them because we're so stuck kind of in this robotic mode of living. And what I had to do, somebody had to pull me aside and told me, you complain too much. You complain so much about life that you don't even stop to see the miracles that are happening every day in your life. Try it for 24 hours. Stop complaining about everything and see if it doesn't change. And so I did it. Man, my life I started seeing things a little differently. And it's because you program your mind to look at, you're so programmed to look at all the negative that you don't see the positive. I started changing who I hung around with because those people were just taking too much out of me. Like, they were just adding to it. Attitudes are contagious. You don't see those miracles, man. Every day that you get up is a miracle. Tomorrow's a gift. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow or not. Every day you open your eyes. Every day you don't do something dumb that could take something away. Like, you don't have a choice. If you're a parent, you don't have a choice to give up. You don't. There are days where you want to, but then you got to check yourself. I'm like, I can't do this. Why? Because who is going to take care of your kids better than you? Who? Nobody. So you better pull your bootstraps up and get to doing what you need to do, because kids pick up on that. Kids read on that. They're sponges and they soak that up. And by you taking notice and slowing down, living in that moment and appreciating everything you have, people start to notice that. And unconsciously, you give people the right to start talking about their own miracles. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And, I'm glad you brought the kid thing up. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to be here. First of all, I really wasn't ever, I wasn't interested in really having no kids, for real. I couldn't even take care of myself. How in the world, am I going to take care of a baby? And even in recovery, I had some time before I had a kid. And it's challenging, my fiance has been down that road before, and I had to kind of piggyback off her, but it's a hard thing. But yeah, like that was a miracle in itself. Who thought I'd be able to even do this or even want to do it or plan? Like that wasn't, that just wasn't who I was. And like I said, man, it was a miracle. That whole pregnancy and the ride there and the baby. Like, just what, like, you can't even, like, unless you've been through, like, that is crazy, like, for real. But it is a miracle. And, like, to watch your kid grow up, like, she's young, she's going to be 21 months, but it's just like, she's a splitting image of me, and it's crazy. But, it really is, though, like, just, like, if you can look at your life, everybody in general, like, what kind of miracles went on in your life? And if you say none, like, you really got to dig. I mean, some have huge, some have small, but miracles are out there. We just don't always see them. And I was blind to the world, man. I was. I needed somebody to walk me, show me, teach me, and really get grateful. And until I really understood what that gratitude word meant, I didn't see all these things. I really didn't.
You get so stuck in that mode, that robotic mode of, as much as selfish as it sounds, you don't see the light. All you see is a tunnel of darkness and nastiness and woe is me and why me and blah, blah, blah. But then on the flip side, when somebody actually, gives you a flashlight, it's a beautiful thing. Like, who would say, Dan, you do so much. I was like, man, it's a miracle how many people you're helping. Like, we don't know how many people we're helping by doing what we're doing right now. We don't. We do it. Somebody commented, I forgot to tell you that. Somebody commented yesterday and told me, "Do you and Dan get money for doing what you guys are doing?" I was like, "No, this is completely out of our free time. We do this because there's people out there and we want them to realize that there's hope. You're not alone. You're not alone." And frustration, anger, depression, nothing takes a holiday or a vacation. So why should him or I take one? And those are miracles in its own. Everybody has an unsuspected reserve of strength inside when push comes to shove. Our bodies were wired to get back up and keep pushing and keep doing. And we don't even know why we keep doing it. But it's just something inside of you just switches on. And you're like, I'm going to do something about this. And let me tell you, when you start noticing those blessings, it's like you're battling your inner self. You're battling that black part of yourself. It's like the negative, and you're the positive, and you're doing battle with that on a daily basis. And every time you win that battle, it's a little bit better for you. You could see the sun shining. You can feel the smiles. You take the pleasure in seeing your kids smile and all of that every day. You take the good with the bad. And you just live it by every minute possible.
Absolutely. I gotta plug real quick. So off topic. May 19th. May 19th, Allentown Rally in the Valley. Woo! Come on out. Yeah, buddy. It's gonna be a good time. It's a community event. Bring the kids, bring the adult, bring them all. All kind of speakers, fun, food. They got live bands going on, and also there's doing this that show, America's Got Talent, or one of those shows. They're doing it's up for high school kids, so they're going to musicians and things like that, and they're going to all come out to the event, and that'll be a segment of the part. So try and get the community involved. With them, what is it's Teen Got Talent? That's what it's called, Teen Got Talent. So I'm pretty stoked for that, and also we'll bring more awareness to the high schools and middle schools and things like that. So come on out May 19th. You will not hear me stop talking about it until May 19th. But anyways, so yeah, all good stuff what you're talking about. It really is. And for me, like I said, I had to start digging, and I continue to have to dig things up, man. When stuff isn't going well or something's bothering me or whatever, if I don't take care of it, I'm not moving forward. But if you keep digging, you're gonna find stuff, and if it's not good stuff, there's ways to get over that, and there's ways to go forward. It just doesn't happen overnight, and that's a lot of people don't like to look at themselves if they had some issues in the past, and it's not easy. Like, I didn't like to look at what I did in my past, but I know for myself the only way I can go forward is if I can come to terms with things, take full responsibility, and just keep going forward. Steph, you want to what was the other thing you mentioned?
Which one?
The other topic. We'll just go back and forth.
Oh, okay. Crummy
Easy,
buddies.
easy does it, right?
Easy does it. Yes.
Go ahead. You can start. You can start.
Oh, well, Jennifer had a question for you. Miss Jackson?
Miss Jackson. So how do you feel about having your kids involved with the parents' recovery process? Do you think it's positive measure or a bad thing? I struggle with this. So it's all, I like, my baby's too young. But like when she gets older, absolutely she's gonna be knowing what's going on, whether she likes it or not. And that's just me. Like, some parents, like for myself, and I'm like all in. So the people around me got to be all in. I think kids need to be taught. It all depends. Like, can the kids sit there and not disrupt things and all that? I mean, kids are gonna be kids, but my daughter, she was at my anniversary, when I spoke, but it's all up to the parent what you think, and be prepared, if your anonymity is not broken or anything like that, kids talk. Um, Kind of explain to your kids, like, hey, you hear something tonight, we can't tell anybody about it. You can't go to school talking about it, stuff like that, because kids talk. But for sure, man, my daughter's going to be in the rooms, like with me or with her mom or whatever the case may be. Um, Kids need awareness, and look, you can start them young and give everything. That doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. Hopefully, by the grace of God, they'll learn from us, learn from our actions and stuff. But at least they'll be prepared. I'd rather have somebody prepared than have no idea about it. Um, but it's all up to you. And you also got to remember, though, too, you got to be right with you. Because you're going. Hopefully, you go to meetings or whatever you do. You got to be there and be able to focus. If you're just focusing on the child, which comes hand in hand as being a parent, you might not be hearing some things. So I think that's important as well. But I would say go for it.
I think my father was an alcoholic. My biological was an alcoholic and drugs. And I'll be honest with you, my child, Alex, is my oldest, and he's 12. We had a conversation with him when he was about 8 years old. And we told him, your father, your grandfather is this way. Your father, and we're talking about this so to make you aware that this is what happens. I want my kids to understand this is the repercussions. If you go down this path, this is what's going to happen. Or should I phrase it, this is what may happen. So you need to be aware and very conscious of your decisions, because everything is cause and effect. I'm not saying that if you take one beer at the age of 21 and then you'll end up winding into an alcoholic. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying be very mindful of that, because I know that's what keeps me in check when it comes to alcohol or any type of drugs.
Yeah.
I think I said it before. I fear becoming that. I fear it like to the core. If you ask me what is the one thing I'm scared of, that is the one thing that I fear, becoming him. And that's what keeps me in check. Even to this day, as a grown adult,
And
I'm like 2 drinks and
I,
that's it.
I think that's a healthy fear. My experience, I was my whole dad's side of the family, they were all in recovery, all of them, majority, I think, except for two aunts who they didn't qualify. But I was shown. I used to go to meetings with my old man, and I was like, man, I will never be like this, never, ever, ever. I was shown right from wrong. I knew what alcoholism was. Uh, and I still went the way I went. I was taught morals and values. I just took that path and say, hey, man, that's not going to be me. The alcoholic is a homeless guy. I ain't homeless. I'm going to college. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Drug addict. I sniffed a little bit of cocaine. Like at the time, that's what it was. And it was just different. We have control. We can stop when we want to. But what I didn't know and realize is alcoholism, drug addiction has a grip, and it's a disease. And when it gets you, man, there's no turning back. However, there's nothing more that could have been shown for me or done for me. It's still the choice. And, my mom's not an alcoholic, and I live with her, and it is what it is. But I would definitely press the issue. Like my daughter, she ain't gonna be able to get away with nothing. I know every side of everything, but even with that, that's all we can do. Lead by example. That's what they told us. Parent or no parent, whatever. You want to help somebody, lead by example. Do what you can do and lead by example, and God's responsible. I'm not responsible for the results. If I sponsor somebody, I can show them, we can work together, but I'm not responsible for somebody else's results. And I got to remember that. But somebody else said something.
Yeah.
Nicole said, my girls were very supportive in my quest to rise above an addict who refused to recover. We discussed addiction and how they do not like things they saw in active addiction and why they should/would avoid. And absolutely, like a lot of times when I was younger, I would see the things that really aren't real. Like you ever see like a beer commercial? It's like a guy in his 20s, 30s surrounded with like a posse of girls in bikinis and shit like that. That never happened for me. Ever. Never happened. So the things that weren't real, or even when good things happened to me, the bad things, man, they really outweighed them. And Jen was talking about consequences. Look, I don't get arrested when I'm not using. When I'm not drinking, I don't get arrested. When I'm drinking and using, not all the time, but every time I get arrested and make these bad decisions, I'm drunk and high. Every single time. However, the consequences didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. Some people it may stop, but I just think, the world we live in today, we really need to bring awareness. And that's not, if we can help one person in a classroom of 30, our goal is way matched. Obviously, we want to help everybody. That's not realistic. Even 1 out of 30 is going to be hard. But that's all we can do. It's better than doing nothing. That one person, even if it's 1 out of 100, that one person, we saved their life or helped them get help or whatever the case may be. And I think that's important. But there's another question. My daughter's 23. I grew up till 9 with me in active addiction. Got involved in recovery meetings she went to and has yet to touch a drug. She hates drugs. And that's the other thing. Like, there's going to be kids that they despise what drugs and alcohol do to people, and they won't even put themselves in harm's way. And that's the other thing. Like, that's fantastic. My sister's older than I am. She's seen what my dad went through. My sister can have a drink and this and that, but she is nothing, not even on the same level. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, two different people, and that's good. If it runs into family, not everybody. Depends who you talk to, but I mean, I wouldn't test it. Like, that's why I would be so about providing and showing, like, look, this is what can happen to you. If your parents are or they're not alcoholics, it still can happen to you. You don't know. I mean, I have aunts that aren't, drinkers or anything, but who knows? What happens if they would have did some heroin? Would they have been hooked and would they have been addicts? So I think that's what we can do, and that's great. Like I said, I've seen a lot of kids come in with their parents, and they already know the drill. They know the rules. They sit down, they be quiet, they play on their tablet, they read their book, they color, they do something, get you some cookies and stuff like that, and they're very well behaved. And that's awesome. So it's good to hear. I remember when I was 23. Oh yeah. Somebody said I have in-laws that think my 12-year-old, should not be involved. And look, it's all about you and your recovery for real. Like, if my mom would say, hey, man, I don't think you should take Danica to a meeting. Say, I respect your decision, but, I'm the parent. So it is what it is. I don't know. Like, I can't speak for anybody else. I just know what I would do. I mean, 12 years old, shit. Like, when are you going to wait until they're actually in the active addiction? What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to hear somebody curse, but I don't know. That's just me. I would definitely do it. And these schools, man, like, people are talking about, like, kids talk anyways. Kids are doing what they do in school. We're not even going to get into the pod challenge. We're not even going to go there.
My kid is in middle school and they actually assign tablets. So, I mean, and granted, they have restrictions on them, but come on, kids are kids.
Yeah. What, the tablets?
Yeah. My kid is in middle school and he has tablets and they have like restrictions and blocks. Like, they assign them tablets and stuff.
Yeah, man. No, I guarantee you one kid figured out a way to how to unblock that something. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yep. I'm telling you, you're right.
It is what it is. And it's scary. Like, kids, I'm blessed, from where we're at today. My daughter have never seen me pick up a drink or a drug, and I hope the rest of my life, in her life, she never sees that. But I know a lot of kids that suffer from their parents' addiction, and they're not even using. The kids never picked up a drink or a drug, but the actions of their parents or mom, dad, whatever it is, that hurts people mentally. And kids need to see counseling. I don't know what's too early for counseling. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of that, but I just know kids need to see counseling. It affects them, and this is scary stuff, man. Addiction and alcoholism. it destroys families. You know, you're not there for the kids, and it's just sad. But that's the real. That's what's happening. Um, if you're anything like me, we are selfish and self-centered when we drink and use. We don't care about nothing else.
I know my kids, on a
Yeah,
personal note, they have a psychologist, a therapist, and we learn how to talk things out because I want to get ahead of it. Plus he's a teenager. I mean, come on. I remember being a teen and your emotions are all over the place. You think you know everything. You're going to sit there, you going to try it. I know it. Everybody just thinks that one time that
yeah,
nothing's going to happen and then boom, you
yeah,
slip and you fall and it could mess you up for the rest of your life. So I would rather be proactive in it. We even went to a marriage retreat where we had he had blindfolded my oldest son had blindfolded my husband and he was giving directions on how to walk around like a maze of chairs just to get the feeling and the understanding of how kids communicate with the parents and to see how difficult it was. And it was a very eye-opening experience.
yeah. My boy Justin, man, what up, Justin? Justin Millen's in the building. He said, I know his ex too. His ex-wife believes that I should bring my kid. I feel like she should be able to see the plus side of recovery, not just the horrible part. Absolutely. So, like I said, there, we all know dad. You know, I'm speaking for myself. Oh, daddy's going to rehab again. Daddy's in jail again. You know, daddy's doing drugs again. All these things they know when bad stuff's happening. Let's show them the positive stuff. And I think that's huge. Again, this is to every parent. And if you're worried, I mean, let me rephrase this. If you're worried about what other people, if they're at meetings, are going to think, please don't. Because look, you're there to save your life. So if they have something to say or worry about it, don't let them bother you. You know, not everybody has a built-in babysitter. You know, like let's be real. Like not everybody has that option. So don't let you having a child stop you from going to meetings or counseling or whatever it is. Um, I'm always like, yo, bring in the kids, bring them. You know what I mean? Like we'd rather have you here for an hour. Yeah, the kids are gonna be, you know, it might not be perfectly quiet, but we'd rather have you safe here. Maybe you'll hear something, you know. And also, I know people that'll pick your kid up, go interact with your kid in the back of the room somewhere, so you can sit here and focus and listen. Um, I know a lot of recovery babies, babies,
Babies.
babies. Um, let me see, just checking out. All right. So, easy does it. You want to start?
Easy does it.
What?
I mean, come on. When it comes to being a parent, like there is no easy. Like that's just the real. You're a parent. There is no easy way to do it. I remember I thought I had to be this textbook parent and things had to be done this way and that way and it just didn't work for me. Just be accepting of where you are right now in your life. Take time to enjoy the smallness and enjoy those little moments because those little tiny beings, it's amazing how they can make you so mad and then in 1 second they can just blow it all away. It's just blown out. They do something so flippin' cute that you're just like, ah, it's hard being a parent. And then sometimes they do stuff that is so hilarious that you have to be serious, but you're laughing inside, but it's not good. And it's funny. You just got to take those moments, enjoy the small things that happen in your life, the great things that happen. Take time to enjoy it, even if it's just taking a walk by yourself. Sometimes you do got to be selfish. Sometimes you're just like, I need to, even if it's just being in a closet for like 5 minutes by yourself to get a thought to yourself. Yes, I know how difficult that is. They can smell you a mile away. They're bloodhounds. I know my kids do the same thing, and the dog gives me away. But we all need that. You need a moment to self reflect for yourself and get your wits together. Because I know plenty of parents that they have postpartum depression and the baby's crying and they're going nuts because they're mommy mode and they're so tired. Put that baby down for 5 minutes, walk away, get it together, and then go back into it. Because it's so easy to just kind of lose track of everything. We all need that moment to take a breath and get it together.
So, So my thing, I never even heard Easy Does it until I got sober because that was one of their slogans. I'm like, what? So I wanted to do all these things, all of them. Like I was early on, man. Like I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to do this. I want to do that. They're like, hey, man, like Easy Does it, relax. And that was very hard for me to do. But another thing they would say is Easy Does it, just do it. Don't talk, like just do it. Sometimes I get overloaded, and a lot of people get workloaded, and I got to remember, like, yo, man, just relax a little bit. But yeah, some people like, and what I've seen in my experience, you can really overwhelm yourself. You really can, especially like when you're new, man. And I'm talking like the first year or two, you got to like relax a little bit. I'm not saying like sit on the couch and don't do anything. I'm saying we have all these thoughts and feelings, and sometimes we get this energy back because we've been gone for so long. You put a lot on your plate, man, a lot of unnecessary stress, and that can take you out. So we don't want to do that. But like I said, you said it earlier, or somebody said it. We want to be like a sponge. We want to suck all the information we can get because it's all new. And majority of the time, in recovery, we don't know how to live without a drink or a drug. Majority. Even the functional alcoholics and addicts, they don't know how to live. You know what I mean? Like we just don't. Like if you're an alcoholic or drug addict, we need some help. And Easy Does It was huge for me. And I had to take a step back sometimes, but just do it. Hopefully you have some kind of plan. Somebody knows about your plan, and it's realistic. And you just chip away at it, and boom, you did it. But yeah, I say that to a bunch of people, man. Like, dude, Easy Does It. And it's funny because it's a slogan, but it's so true. Don't you ain't gonna conquer everything in one night. You're not gonna conquer it in 1 year. Shit, man, I'm 7 years sober and I'm still battling stuff from, whenever. Things come up, different new things come up, and we got to take it for what it is. But Easy Does It. Do it now. But on the parent side, though, like it's just new. That's still new to me. It's like, all right, Easy Does It, right? All right, fine. Like, no. Like, I still got to be there. I still got to change the kid's diaper. We still got to give her a bath. We still got to have dinner. All that stuff. But, relax. Look, you know what you have to do. You're obviously capable of doing it. Just do it and get it done with. I don't know. It's a very simple thing, but you can watch a lot of people struggle with, just trying to do everything at once. It's like it's a freaking race, It's not a race.
It is. And the funny thing about it, I used to be that type of person that I would overload my plate so I wouldn't have to deal with my emotional state. Like, oh, I'm feeling emotionally disturbed or like I'm upset. So I would overload my plate. And then something would happen and I'm like, okay, I got to stop. I need to just do things. I need to just go easy with it and just chill down and relax. Why am I hesitating? 9 times out of 10, when you're not taking it easy, it's an indication that you're trying to avoid something. Maybe there's something there that's too painful for you to, step to it and do some soul searching, because sometimes those topics are hard and you avoid it and overload your plate so you don't have to go near it and deal with that issue right at that time. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not certain if there's others like that.
But yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, the whole, make a list.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I didn't even know how to live at all. I hated being around myself. This is in sobriety. So they're like, dude, man, you got to find stuff to do, bro. So I would like find stuff to do. And they're like, all right, now you got to put it on a list. And I would just jam up this list because, it came down to it. Number one, which was good, having me make a list to keep me busy. I didn't think about picking up a drink or a drug, period. I was focused on whatever I was doing, but I was getting these lists like impossible. Me and 4 other people couldn't have finished what I had on a list. You know what I mean? So I would like get overwhelmed. But hey man, it kept me from picking up a drink or a drug. But like you were talking about, people don't want to like nobody wants to look at themselves and deal with their problems. You know what I mean? And it's a all right. Is it healthy? You know, helping other people and doing what you got to do, and you know, doing yard work. You know, cleaning the garage, the base, blah blah blah, all that. Yeah, it's great. You know, you're participating in life. You know, you have goals and all that, but eventually you're gonna run out of shit to do. You know what I mean? Like or you're gonna be back in the same spot every day, become a routine. But sometime when the time's good, you got to get inside there, man, and find out what those problems are. And that's some work. You know, I don't remember what page it is on one of our books, but the alcoholic does not, I'm paraphrasing, does not want to look at themselves. They don't. Um, you know, it's different today for me. You know, even when things are going rough, like I still look at myself. I still know there's still work to do, and we just do it. But in the beginning, man, we're so that guilt and shame, and you know, usually we have some kind of record or something like that. You know, fines, all that shit, divorces, bankruptcy, whatever it is, man. It's a huge thing to look at. You know, but if we take it little by little and just do it, like things will work out. But yeah, man, don't overwhelm yourself, man. Just don't like if you're in recovery. Sometimes all I can do is not pick up a drink or a drug. That's it. Some days I'm horrible. Um, there's other days I feel like I'm untouchable. But then God reminds me, hey man, remember wasn't it too long ago you were like a really shitty person in society? But get down and shut up and help somebody. You know what I mean?
I absolutely understand what you're saying. And it's those moments of reflection that kind of tell you I need to take my foot off that gas and kind of just chill, because you can actually make yourself even more sicker than you already are. Uh, some people, stress, just anxiety, all of that plays into it. And then it's not good for you either. And then attitudes are contagious. Then you got kids going crazy because they're anxious and nervous. And it's not even that. Sometimes you could take really good pleasure. Like, I loved doing little things like yard work. I used to hate it. Now my husband's asking me for tips how to keep the grass green. Yeah, what? I
Wow,
did that. Boom. How you like them apples?
that's
But
hard.
anyway, but he would never do it. He would never do it. But it's the thing where it gives you a moment. Why did I like that? Because it gave me a little bit of time to self-reflect. What was I going to do with the kids? How was I going to change their attitudes or their moods? What can we do to make things better for them? And that was my moment. We would all go out there in the yard, and my kids running up and down the block with the girls in the stroller. My other one is raking dead grass, trying to make it. It was something that kept us busy. Busy is great, but it's always nice to just sit back and be like, okay, the kids have a soda, I have a bottle of water, and just sit and admire your work. And that's what makes life a miracle, when you could just sit back and do that. Those are those moments that help you get through those rough times when you don't think you can do it no more. That's the miracle in its own. If you're able to sit there and be completely, have inner peace with not only yourself but for that one moment in time, then you're winning, man.
Absolutely. John L. said, sometimes we forget that forgiving others, we have to find out that we have forgivable by understanding our self-worth, which is true, and cherishing that because then we can determine to ourselves that others have worth and help them celebrate in recovery, which is nails on the head, man. That's really good. I like that. Um, forgiving, you know, that's another process, man. That's a whole nother meeting, but you know, that's absolutely, um, that's blown away. You know, that's awesome. And you know, with all that being said, um, you know, easy does it. Everything that we talked about today, I think like when we apply that stuff, I know for myself when I apply that stuff in my life, you know, honestly, and this is all stuff I was taught, my life goes a lot better. Not a little, it goes a lot better. But I just have to remember, and that's why like what we do is repetitious. You know, I will forget. I'll forget real easy. And I already know that. I see people around me that forget, and you can see slip, slip, slip. So like you know, staying right here, you know, whatever we got to do, man. Busy is good. You know, sometimes you know we got to chill out a little bit. And I'm not talking going from a 10 to a 0. Try and stay in that even line. I always got stuff going on, always. And it's what I need to do. I really feel like it's what I need to do so I don't forget. And, I enjoy what I do. And that's a good thing. And even if you don't enjoy what you do, but you're living a good life and your plate's full, like, keep doing it. You know what I mean? But if you're struggling with this stuff, talk to somebody about it. The way you're feeling, somebody's probably felt that before. I hate to tell you, you're not unique. You're not, I promise. And somebody's been feeling that way you've been feeling. So, reach your hand out and talk about it, because the shit ain't gonna go away. And I don't know, man. I'm blessed, man. We're just out here. This is a Thursday afternoon, just shooting the gabber. And I'll be in Ohio and West Virginia this week, carrying a message. And it's gonna be a long trip, but it's all good. What else you got, Steph? I got a few minutes.
Well, dang, you just put me on the spot right there.
Go with it.
It's all about balance. And that's what it comes down to. The balance, there's no manual out here. Like, legit, there's no manual out here to tell you this is the way you're supposed to do it, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's different. Everybody has scars and battles that they don't talk about. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be in that moment and say, I need help. I need help figuring this out. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but we did say it'll be worth it in the end.
Absolutely. Oh, we got a manual though. I got a different. So, like, look, I get what you're saying, but like, if you're in recovery, and everybody has their own ways. I get that, but recovery wise, I was shown an awesome manual, and a lot of people use it. And then there's some people in recovery that say, "Nah, I got my own manual." I mean, like, I was shown a manual, and it's a book on a new way of living. And for somebody is shot out as I was, it saved my ass. But I know what you're talking about. And somebody I know used to say, when they were growing up, they didn't have like the book. I'm not talking about recovery. Like, they didn't have the it's like they walked around, felt like they were walking around life without the instruction book. And I can relate to that in a way. I was shown, I just wasn't paying attention. But when you don't feel like that, you really know what's going on, and everything seems different, and you don't fit in or this or that. But yeah, we got a manual, so don't get that twisted. But
my bad.
No. And like, yeah, there's no shame in asking for help. People, oh, I'm gonna be embarrassed or this or that. It's like, dude, like, it's nothing you can say anymore in this world somebody hasn't done or hurt. And if it's bothering you that much, obviously you got to take care of it. So I don't know, man. Like, I just know when I put some air on some things and followed by some action, my life gets a lot better really fast. It really does. And easy does it, but just do it.
Do it.
So,
do it. Like Nike. Just do it.
So that's all I got. What you got? You take it out.
I know that the Lord has a unique way of putting people in the right place at the right time in your path to show you sometimes a better way. And maybe they've been in your path the whole time. You just weren't open and receptive to it. Be open, be receptive, just listen. Be slow to speak and quick to listen, because you'll get these little nuggets every day of your life. Little nuggets from the most unsuspecting people. Dan, you be teaching me a lot. I get a lot of nuggets. A lot of gold nuggets that I apply in my life. The things that I get from Jennifer and John and everybody in this forum, little nuggets. And it doesn't matter. Those gold nuggets come from every walk of life. So don't like humble yourself a little bit and accept that help and listen to those people. Because I'm telling you, those nuggets happen. Success leaves breadcrumbs, and you'll hear it every day in your life, those things.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, another fantastic meeting, Miss Robles.
Yes, Dan.
We'll be live next Thursday, noon. Tell your friends, tell your kids. Kids are welcome.
Always.
I'll keep my cursing to a minimum, and I'm trying on that. I'm working on that. I don't know how good it's going to work for my drive, though. I got to drive out tomorrow night.
The girls say, Dan, Mr. Dan has a potty mouth. I go, yes, he does,
try,
baby.
man. I got to remember that. I'm not a kid, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that bad. Lately, it's been, I got to remember stuff, you know? But, it's been fun as always, man. Invite your people. If you want to share it, please do. New Facebook algorithm. They control who's seeing what and blah, blah, blah. So, the whole idea is to get a message out, man, and hopefully it can help somebody today, even one person. Hopefully we help one person. So I hope everybody has a great day. Enjoy yourselves, and love each and every one of you guys. Peace.